company culture can be a big factor in drawing more applicants to a firm and boosting productivity. What do workers of today want to see in businesses? Michael Page's Company Culture Report 2022 explores this and workplace diversity. We're speaking now with Director Rhannon Guilford. Thank you so much for joining us, Rhannon. First of all, how has the company culture changed over the past 2.5 years during the pandemic?
Thank you for having me too. Yeah, so it's changed a lot, I would say. I think the critical things that we're really seeing is company culture has really become an issue. So previously, where professionals would be looking to make changes career-wise, perhaps for salary, whereas now we're really seeing the critical reasons for moving are more around culture, purpose, what is the vision of the company, as well as the leadership, rather than just salary being the driving factor.
Your team focuses on recruiting senior management roles for businesses across multiple industries. Is there good senior level talent available right now?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of talent out there. I would say that the challenge is that with the amount of companies who are now hiring, new businesses entering the Philippines, there's really a high demand. So it's just making sure, how can companies actually attract that talent? How can they retain talent in a very candidate-driven market?
So what positions would you consider senior level, Rhannon?
I would say any position which is critical for an organization, leadership roles. We're looking at everything from the first hire for a company starting up in the Philippines, all up to C-level positions. So across the board, across multiple different industries, there's a huge demand in the healthcare sector, technology, of course, unsurprisingly, as well as FMCG, retail. Multiple sectors at the moment are really looking for top talent.
And are women getting equal opportunity for these senior level positions?
Very good question, and something that's very important to people across the board who are looking for opportunities is the DE&I policies of businesses. It depends from industry to industry, but I would say the really positive thing that has come from the pandemic is that flexible working is allowing more female executives, let's say, to apply for roles that perhaps they wouldn't have ordinarily. So, for example, if someone's been with a company for a long time and built up equity to the point that they would have flexible working maybe a day or two per week pre-pandemic, that would actually be very uncommon, and they wouldn't expect to necessarily get that somewhere else. Whereas now that hybrid working is more normal, you know, there's a lot more people coming to us and asking, you know, what opportunities are out there for them.
And so right now, talents are also considering the working conditions when joining a firm. And that is also basically one of their, would you say, demands? If it's hybrid or work from home or a mixture of both when joining a senior level position?
Yes, Rico, I'd say it's the flexible working piece is part of the bigger company culture piece. So people are looking at the company, you know, how empathetic is their leadership? How much do they care about the people? What is their flexibility like when it comes to working? Because that also shows how progressive or dynamic and how dynamic that company might be. So yes, it's important, but it's definitely part of a bigger, the bigger picture, which is actually driving what people are thinking when they're looking at and assessing new companies.
I've also noticed, Rhannon, over the past 2.5 years, the talent landscape has also shifted a bit. I'm now seeing some friends of mine have decided to give up their cushy senior level positions and be entrepreneurs and you know, start their own startups. They want to be their own bosses rather than work for a conglomerate or for a medium-sized company.
Yeah, more power to them. I think that's the key thing that's happened during the pandemic is that people have really taken time to reflect on what's important to them, And if they, see an opportunity to do something entrepreneurial, then they may take that. One of the most interesting findings from our talent trends report was that when companies are assessing how to attract talent, actually companies are overvaluing company brand by 215%, which is great news for entrepreneurs or startup companies or less established companies looking to attract talent, because actually they can focus more on the vision, etc.
But Rhiannon, briefly before we let you go, if you can't find the senior level talent here in the country, are you able to attract Filipino expats to return home and work for a local company?
Yes, absolutely. We have a Bayanihan campaign, which is specifically focused on finding top talent internationally. And over the last couple of years, we've been really pleased to see the amount of senior and executive level talent willing to come back, because they've seen there's actually a lot of really attractive opportunities back home in the Philippines, which they didn't realize prior to.
Thank you so much for your insights. Michael Page, Director Rhannon Guilford.